Welcome to Epic Stock Due Diligence. Please subscribe at youtube.com/EpicStockDD. Thank you.
Hey y'all, welcome back to another potentially entertaining episode of Epic Stock Due Diligence. And if you haven't subscribed, that's youtube.com/EpicStockDD, and be sure to ring that bell icon when you subscribe, and that'll notify you whenever I post another video. Now before we continue, I want to remind everyone this video is for entertainment purposes only. It should not be considered a recommendation to buy or sell a security. I'm sharing this video for entertainment purposes only. With that being said, let's jump right in for some potentially entertaining information. So, what? Volume. Volume, you scan for stocks, you see volume. Volume is a sign of interest. But how do people create fake volume? Now again, fake volume is still volume. It's comprised of sales and buys. So volume is volume. But how do people often create fake volume? So how and why do people often create fake volume? So let's say there's a, you're going to find and check out my other videos where I talk about share structure, but you find a stock that the share structure is very nice. Simply put, share structure that's really clean means that a stock can move on a minimal amount of volume. So a stock that's not diluted, that has good share structure with a small amount of volume, the price per share can change pretty quickly. So often what traders will do, and this isn't necessarily one trader, it's probably a group of traders, probably people that have accumulated a lot more wealth trading stocks than you and or I. So, people that have money to throw at tickers and create this volume. So what often happens, traders will find a stock, maybe a stock that had some sort of interest in the past, maybe had some sort of perceived awesome news upcoming and this sort of stuff, but one that's been dormant. So a stock that has had little to no volume, maybe for the past few months, maybe for the past few years. But what they'll do is they'll find that stock, and they will find the one that has good share structure, because that's important. If it doesn't have good share structure, if something's diluted, you can throw tons of money at it and it's not going to uptick or downtick. So one with good share structure that hasn't been active for a while, a few weeks, few months, few years, and then all of a sudden people are screening their stocks for that day of trading, and they see this stock that's been dormant that has a large surge of volume. Now often what traders have done, they've gone together because they realize that that's got great share structure. Again, I keep reiterating the share structure part. So those traders and other traders that trade with them, they've potentially injected a sizable amount of cash into that particular ticker symbol. The end result, two things. Number one, there's a huge spike in volume, and that suggests buying interest. Number two, because of the excellent share structure of that particular ticker symbol, the price per share is increased. Now initially, most of that volume is probably going to be people accumulating. Now, but keep in mind, there may be people that have been in this ticker symbol throughout its dormancy, and they see this spike, and they may exit quickly because they've been potentially had a limit order waiting to execute if bid hits X dollars or X microcents or whatever. So there's probably going to be some people exiting, but probably not that much, because there's probably going to be people that have been in it and it's like, oh, things are finally starting to materialize. What the traders that have injected that large amount of cash and created that large amount of volume are probably going to do is probably twofold. They're probably, not only have they injected that cash to bump the price per share up considerably, but they've probably also thought in advance, like, well, if we're injecting all this volume, there's got to be some sort of perceived news coming or whatever. So they're probably, the other piece are probably the people that have hit the forums and are out there, and it's like, oh man, look at all this volume today. Did XYZ finally materialize? Or, oh man, I hear XYZ is going to happen next week, dude. Get in. It's going up, it's going up. So often, that's the start of a pump and dump as well, because those traders that were in cheap and ran the price per share up, often that volume is going to attract other traders. And some of it is FOMO, fear of missing out. So there's people that will follow that volume and throw their own money at it. There's all sorts of reasons why people may accumulate. But ultimately, probably what will happen with this is that group of traders that injected that initial volume, at some point they'll exit. And they'll exit hard. So typically what will happen is it'll go up, and then the other people follow their buys, and then it starts to really rapidly go up, and then it's up, and the people that, through the initial volume in, they're exiting for a really nice price per share increase potentially. But because of how many shares all of them had, often what will happen is that as they all exit, the people that initially, let's just call, say, front-loaded, as those people exit, the people that weren't part of that are often left holding the bag, meaning that they followed the volume, they followed the fluff, they thought something was coming, and in reality, all it was just another pump and dump. And most of your penny stocks are like that. Not saying a pump and dump's a bad thing. If you have the skill set mentally necessary to know, or to assume rather, that every penny stock's a pump and dump, you're probably going to do better in the long run. So the people that weren't part of that group of traders, and again, this is all hypothetical, but the people that weren't part of the group of traders that got in low when they saw the initial volume surge, they may have done all right. They may have ridden it up a little bit, and they may have exited for a sizable profit. But the people that bought in because they saw the volume, the people that bought in because they saw the fluff in the forums, and they just, they became emotionally attached to this particular ticker symbol. They gobbled it up. They had dessert and everything. They were satisfied. They're sitting on something good, and their minds are going to be a new multimillionaire the next week, because they got in early on something that's going to be several dollars a share in a few weeks. You're inexperienced penny stock trader. Nothing wrong with that. Everybody starts somewhere, but again, don't become emotionally attached to a ticker symbol, because most all of these are scams. And to further illustrate what happened here in this hypothetical example, so those traders that were initially in, they exited. And then your smarter money that bit into this, it's like, man, I got to get out for a small loss, or, I got to get out for a tiny gain or a small loss. They start to exit. And then you get all of your inexperienced traders that maybe they just failed to monitor the markets for a few days, or maybe they don't care, or maybe they're still emotionally attached to that ticker, and they wait it out, and inevitably they ride it back down to next to no volume. Potentially this stock could remain dormant for 5, 10, 20 more years, or who knows? Who knows what the future might hold for that particular ticker symbol. But that's often how it works. How fake volume, again, fake volume is still real volume, but it's fake from the standpoint that it was a group of traders saying, hey, man, we see this stock, it's got great share structure, it'll move so quickly. If we all got together and bought this at the same time, it's going to create a surge of volume, and it's going to attract attention from others. So don't assume that all volume is real volume. Yes, volume is volume. It's buys and it sells, so it's all real. But don't assume that volume implies that something positive is going to happen. I guess that's a better way to put it. In the short term, it may be positive if you were sitting on that, and then all of a sudden, boom, these traders picked that ticker up and did this. I mean, potentially those people that saw it and got out quickly before the dump, they may still do really well. But I mean, it's just, penny stocks are so scammy, and that's why I love posting these videos, because you know, the entertainment value that a penny stock can provide, there's few other things that can do that. It's both educational, it's entertaining, it's and you know, obviously all my videos are for entertainment purposes only. They should not be considered a recommendation to buy or sell security. But I just find fun in all of this. I mean, maybe I'm weird, but you know, once you've followed penny stocks for, and it takes several years. I mean, I've been doing it for, I guess now 20 years plus, and I still have only scratched the surface as far as knowledge is concerned. So I mean, this is not a skill set that anyone should expect to pick up within a few years. Now, there are some exceptions. I mean, there's incredibly brilliant people out there that do have the ability to learn more rapidly than others. But for the most part, it's going to take many years of experience. And part of that is due to the fact that there's so many different types of pump and dumps that, you know, unless you've experienced one, you know, you're in the forums, you're watching all this unfold, or you've fallen victim to one. You know, maybe you thought you had a somewhat legitimate penny stock, and then all of a sudden, boom, it goes up, and you failed to exit quickly enough. I mean, it's some fun stuff. But tell me what you think within the comments section below. Be sure to subscribe, ring that bell icon when you do, and that'll notify you whenever I post another video. Y'all have a good day. Hey everyone, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to subscribe to my channel, youtube.com/EpicStockDD, and ring that bell icon when you do, and that'll notify you whenever I post another video. Thanks for your viewership, and y'all have a good day.